Hi, everyone. Welcome to week 7. I want to start the week talking about simulation. As I've said before, this is the first time we've done that simulation, and so I hope everybody enjoyed it. If you had issues or something you really liked, please feel free to include it in your CAT survey or email me directly. I'm happy to take your feedback and incorporate it in future classes. Like I said, first time we've ever used it. It seemed to go pretty well. I didn't hear of any major issues, so I'm happy about that. Let's talk about the content of the simulation. So, if you've read my bio, I spent years in technology. We luckily never had a cyber attack because mainly cyber attacks weren't a big deal back in when I worked, late 90s, early 2000s in technology. So, but we did have issues. Stability was always an issue. Growth, when we put new software out, sometimes the system, more users would get on our system. So once again, I was AOL, and this is back in the day when you would dial up or you had to log in through an internet provider, but we had a piece of software. It wasn't going to the internet like it is today. It was a piece of software you loaded on your computer. And sometimes our systems would get overwhelmed or something would happen. And very similar to the cyber attack, you had to decide what to do. Do you shut everything down? Do you keep it running? Not so much a data breach, but data loss. What did you do? And so there were days when we had issues, and I remember no one was allowed to touch their computer, even to send an email or open a Word document, because they were just so afraid of what it was going to do to the network. Because the network in our building also supported the service the public used. So when I read this cyber attack, I'm always hesitant to shut everything down. I would have left it, like many of you, left it up and running to preserve any data, any evidence of what really happened. And you didn't know if there was a data breach. So you had to look there. You needed that information and all the logs to see if it happened. So that was my main thought with the cyber exercise was I would have left it up and running. A lot of you, I was very happy to see, got like 17, 18 of 19 pieces of data. That was excellent. A couple of you said, when you finished it, what would you do differently? And you're like, I don't know. I think I did everything well. You can always do better. You can always do more. And something I was taught in undergrad in quality assurance class was to ask the question why 5 times. If you ask why 5 times, you're almost always going to get to the bottom of whatever it is you're talking about. Think about a little kid. A little kid says why, what, who, when, where, the 5 whys over and over because they just want to know, they want to learn. But somewhere along the line, I think we get told don't stop asking questions, stop asking why, and we stop. But asking why is a great thing in everywhere, your personal life, in college here, in your workplace. If you keep on asking why, you'll get to the bottom of things. And so that's what I would suggest as you go out into the world and you think about the simulation. Remember to keep on asking questions, not in-depth questions, not leading questions. That's the best part about why. It doesn't lead to an answer you might want to hear. It's just asking the simple, why is this what it is? So those are my thoughts on the simulation. Everybody did great. Thank you for doing it. Thank you for the group projects. I'll be honest, group projects are not my favorite, but that's one thing. If you read your outcomes, working together is part of our outcomes. So, and it's something you'll do forever. So let's move on to week 7. Week 7 is very short, shouldn't take you long. So you'll have a little extra break if you start earlier in the week because you're going to work on your networking event video reflection. And if you click on this, it's actually going to take you back to week 1. Go back up here and your networking event. And you'll see week 7 video reflection. Your video should be clear and professional, include audio or video of you speaking, be well organized and easy to follow, and about 3 to 5 minutes in length. I don't need a dissertation, a 20-minute video, just something short and sweet that provides me all the information I need. What event did you attend? When was it? Who hosted it? What type it was? And then talk about your SMART goals. Did you meet them? Were they good SMART goals? Did you put a SMART goal that was totally not attainable? Tell me about that. And then what was your experience? How did you participate? Did you meet people? What conversations did you have? And then what did you learn? And then how does it help your career and your self reflection and improvement? So that's basically the video. Like I said, we're looking for, now that I see all this stuff, I don't know why I said 3 minutes. How about 5 to 10 minutes? I'll have to update that for the next class. So that's the first assignment, which you probably have a good start on. The second assignment is doing, oops, sorry, I went back to the introduction. Let's go over here. The second assignment is your peer review. Down here, so peer review, if I click on this, it actually just gives you directions. So how to submit a peer review. If you click there, you'll come over and here's a whole page on how to submit your peer review with a video and detailed steps. This is one of those things I can't walk through since I'm not a student. So that should help you with your peer review. Be honest, give constructive feedback. Don't just say, I like it, I agree with it. Make sure your comments have substance. So that's what we want to do for the peer review assignment. And those are the 2 assignments for the week. Not much. At the end of the week, you'll be able to, this is pretty much all of our outcomes, explain and the value of empowering people, disadvantages, advantages of leaders who demonstrate authenticity, trustworthiness, and empathy. Kind of like, I'm not going to read all of these to you, but it sums up the whole course. The attending a networking event, what does it take to plan an event? You'll have thought about that. Professional and proper etiquette, and what is the importance of that? So that's your week in a nutshell. I look forward to seeing your work. I've enjoyed working with everybody. I hope you have a great fall semester. And if you ever need anything, feel free to reach out. Have a good week.